people in the gym over there. So apparently we messed up. We messed up again, which means that we are very tired in the waters. No, you see, I literally am not even seeing things properly. But we are trolling in the quad car now. So we might play a quad later on in the afternoon. Right now, we just got a team kill. So yeah, we'll freeze the hearing and use it for bait next time. I will put it in the salt bucket, but we've got plenty of fish in the salt bucket. Yeah, we had sleep early today, last night. So we're not be able to sleep at all. So that's why we are on day 4 or 5 of the stairs because if we that way just gonna die. So well, God now seems to be chill on the videos. It's just us on the cardio position. But anything's related, but like we're like half awake, half asleep. Honestly, I can't even remember what I did during the treatment. That's how bad I just fell asleep. At least golden hour is not bad. Like, literally not much to talk about. We were silent for like a long time. That walk in the treadmill was like basically a blur. I do not even remember what we did. No joke, I legit blanked out for like 20 minutes. All I remember was just setting up the camera and stuff, right? And the 20 minutes went by and I like opened my eyes or something. And the treadmill sitting been walking for like 20 minutes. I'm like, what? And then now we're just here. Like, golden hour is pretty decent, I guess. Yeah, kind of. Not, it's not the best golden hour because it's like, what? It's alright. I mean, it's just because we're still, like, golden hour is, it's alright. It's just normal, it's just the normal regulars. But I guess it's just the proximity is a bit, couple machines close. Is there anything to talk about? Oh yeah, we need to really like work on our sleep something because we haven't even done the stairs in a while. Now, why did I sleep late last night? Too busy editing, as the usual suspect. Could have slept a lot earlier, but I just decided to do a little bit of editing, so I did that instead. We did a lot more Overwatch than Ark yesterday, and Overwatch actually requires a bit of editing, but it's all good. Yeah, GoldenEye is actually decent now again. I'm sorry because, like I said before many times, right? When someone doesn't have headphones or earbuds, we have to have their closer. It's a bit annoying. Sorry though. Is there anything to talk about? What did we do yesterday exactly? Yesterday we basically just did a lot of Overwatch and one episode of Ark. No, one episode of Aquatica. And that was about it. Yeah, so I think today we'll do a lot more Ark. I did test that Twitch. I did try to test that Twitch again yesterday. Yeah, no. YouTube's better. It's all good, so it's kind of it. That's basically what we did yesterday. You know, kind of just did our thing. Yeah, that's what we did, right? Just basically some Overwatch and some Ark. So I think today's going to be the same thing again, probably, unless I find something new to do. Yeah, I'm thinking of starting another Ark series as well. Honestly, I think we might also be done with Aquatica soon. As much as it's like interesting, I'm not really going to do a Go boss. Just wanted to explore. The reason is because in Aquatica, I think we already got such a strong army that we might not even need to progress anything else. So what is there to talk about? We're finally awake now, as you can tell. Finally awake. Yeah, so we need to really sleep earlier, but I mean, yeah, that's about it. Is there anything else to really say? Not really. We're full fives. All I know is that today we got a lot of videos, a lot of content to edit because Overwatch has to a degree a lot of editing to do, but it's not that hard. It's actually super easy, really easy. You just because when you scrub the timeline, you could even see everything, right? So Overwatch, the only thing I would really cut is me walking from spawn to the fight. That's pretty self-explanatory and kind of it. Or maybe when I get a kill, you know. But the only thing about it, over editing, mm, yeah, over editing Overwatch is it really depends, right? Because when you edit it, right, you might not get, you might not see the other kills. Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that when you edit Overwatch too heavily, and you only focus on the kills you got, which is the final blow, it's not the same effect as like actually seeing the whole gameplay. Again, arm day does take the longest, but after this we're gonna go straight to bicep. And what else did I say? I don't know. Not really sure what to say honestly. Hunting and fishing, not really much. Not really much going on there. No, there's really just nothing to talk about. I mean, I could talk about editing and stuff. And pretty much what our content looks like right now is pretty much your story time, Earth vlogs and story times, hunting and fishing. We've got Overwatch, which is like a quick play stuff, right? Just to get some cool clips. That's what's actually sometimes enjoyable. And then we've got the Arc series, which is basically just putting ourselves in multiple realities and seeing what we do, right? So yeah, it's about it. That's what it suits me right now. I mean, sure, we could do like the occasional horror story. I don't mind that. No, I mean horror game. But I don't think there's any other games really. Pretty true. Yep. The cable biceps is the always the goat. There's nothing really to say, but at least we're awake now, and golden hour is actually spread out again. It's great. Before, golden hour was like 12 o'clock, 1300. Where I'm saying it was 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, too close. So that's why we weren't speaking too much during the triceps. I was actually super awake after the triceps. No, when we started the triceps, I was already really awake, but just didn't have the opportunity. But right now, there's no one around our perimeter, so we can actually talk again. Alright, water is done. Alright, water's done. Again, there's really nothing to talk about. I don't really see what there is to talk about, honestly. It's like, what is there today? Everything's just you see the content I'm putting out on YouTube. You guys see it. I think we're on a roll right now, though, right? We are on a roll. We're like uploading nearly 4 multiple videos a day, but they're all scheduled as well. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, what other series are there? I mean, we could not play Ark, by the way. Like, we don't have to play Ark all the time. It might be getting a bit boring-ish. Kind of, and I could talk about it. Yeah, again, I prefer when we play Ark. I'm more about the journey rather than the destination. You know, I prefer the journey more. That's what's good about Ark. It's about the journey, not the actual thing. But I think the problem about Ark sometimes is that if you follow the same blueprint for the journey, it gets a bit boring, right? It's like repetitive. That's why I don't really like doing bosses in Ark. We did it once, but I don't want to do it again because the journey is not even fun. It's just get get these Rexes done. It's boring. Same as the playthrough, right? Oh, get a Parasaur, get a RG and the Anki and the Lydic, craft this and that, done. It's just like, oh, okay. Prefer variation, but also to a degree something new. So we might find a new series. We do have Surviving Mars that we haven't actually played in a while. We might do that again. I don't know if I can remember how to play it. We played on the PS5 before. Yeah, there's not really much other kind of games to play. I do like doing variety rather than just sticking to one. And I think that's kind of I think that might be like a slight problem with us right now. Is that a lot of people think our main thing is Arc, which it probably is for like the first couple of months. Actually, that's probably true. But I guess we're doing a lot more Overwatch now. But besides that, then I don't need anything else. Oh yeah, now we can do the other bicep thing. Yeah, but there's not really many other series we've done. I mean, sure, we played Arc, right? But multiple maps. And each map on Arc feels like a whole new world, you know? So I wonder what else there is. I kind of want to try Ascendant as well. Mix it up a bit, right? Isn't that a series to play? I don't know, I prefer doing kind of playthrough videos that have a story that can kind of dig into my framework. That's why Overwatch, I'll be honest, that Overwatch doesn't really give much of the framework. It's more about cheap dopamine in Overwatch. But I guess the champions we play shows my framework, right? Apparently the champs that we play on Overwatch is like menacing. Like Ana is annoying. Trace is like hella very agile, glass cannon, and Widowmaker is kind of just no skill. Is there any other kind of? There's nothing really else. I don't know. It really is just nothing to say. I mean, sure, series is come and go, but I mean it's the same for like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, right? Not really. I don't. I mean, of course, I like their old content, right? But kind of just do our own thing, right? Content's more based on the Truman Show, so raw footage or like more open stuff, right? Example, these are vlogs. I could vlog my room more, but there's really nothing in my room to vlog. There's no like adventure. Again, that kind of era is awaiting us. The traveling kind of vlogging, filming era is going to be during the Instagram era when I can get someone to like get the camera or something. But yeah, I mean, hey, that's for another era. Instagram era will come one day. I will always mention it because I know exactly what we're doing. Alright, what else there? Yeah, I didn't really want to visit League of Legends. I'm good. And it's kind of tempting, I'll be honest. Probably because I'll admit yesterday I spent like 30, no, I spent like 20 minutes watching Tyler One. I was just browsing. I was like, oh, Tyler One, what's he up to? And then I saw his like lore. It's kind of cool. Like I saw this old video of like Tyler One playing H1Z1, and that's where he met Michaela. Because apparently Michaela stream sniped him, and then you know years passed, and now he's got two children with Michaela. So hey, I just thought that was pretty cool, right? That he's got so much metadata that he literally saw his wife through a video game, through a stream, and then now he's got two kids, and he's just still playing League of Legends, chilling. It's like, damn, that's chill. Yeah, that's the only reason why I was thinking about League of Legends, because Tyler One's still playing it. It must have more variation than Overwatch, 100%. Yeah, League of Legends does have a lot more variation than Overwatch, 100%. It's just that when we play Overwatch, I'm gonna no. If we play League of Legends, I will troll. I will literally play Bard or something. Yeah, so pretty much we're just gonna continue our YouTube channel era. No, there's no such thing as that. We're just gonna continue the channel, continue the Earth vlogs as it slowly scales up, and then we'll also just continue random series that we prefer. And then when Instagram era comes, so will all of the assets would grow as well by then, and then we can basically travel. Can't wait. I wonder what kind of adventures we'll get to. Or, matter of fact, hopefully something interesting happens on Earth. Maybe the AI apocalypse will happen or something. Or some kind of cool event that would change our ecosystem. You know? Let's go check out and everything. You can tell that at the beginning of these Earth vlogs, we're a bit quiet. Mainly because, you know, the proximity and the clock is a lot. But yeah, the only thing we need to really work on is probably our sleep, but it's okay. It's alright. Got a lot of editing to do today, and that's kind of about it. Just a bunch of editing. The only thing is just editing Overwatch. I already edited the Aquatica. What? That's crazy. When did we even do that? We were climbing. Look at that. 70.1. We were literally climbing, and all of a sudden 0.5 disappeared. That's right. It must have been the water weight or something. No, wait. No. Guess we're still ranging at 70 kgs, right? Yeah, yesterday we were like 70.7. That's all good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it again. So yeah. Yeah, there's so many series we can do. I am just pumping out content non-stop. You know what I mean? Everything's working out fine though. Just continue accumulating assets, both in just continue collecting assets, right? These videos are assets. Every single metadata is assets. Yep, it is what it is. Alright, appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna probably. Oh yeah, I wanted to do this story today. 3 true gym horror stories. Now we could learn something from this, maybe. Before we do that, I do want to see how fast I can type. Right? How fast can we type again? I'm folding. I'm so slow. 100? Can I go faster? Nah, because once I go faster, I literally will lose accuracy. New also. Fuck, whatever. Anyways, Gym Horror Stories. Let's begin. We're gonna get 4.1k for how many days? All right, let's do it. Let's go. Lock in. Gym Horror Stories. Now, of course, we're not gonna do all of it. We can only do like a few because we don't do it all at once. All right, let's go, shall we? Gym Horror Stories by Anonymous. I remember my rule when it comes to the gym. If you're a female, don't go alone at night. Don't go on golden hour. Don't go on diamond hour. If you're a female going to the gym, always go with friends or go when it's busy. Like, I'm talking like busy. Like, there's staff there. Don't go when there's no staff. Even if there is staff, I wouldn't go if you're a female. Just, in general, if you're a female, don't go. It's not worth it. You're gonna, like, get kidnapped or die or whatever, right? Like, why would you do that? Lock in.
For the purpose of this story, I'll refer to myself as Nolan. This started the way most gym friendships start. You see the same guy a lot.
That doesn't even go my ecosystem already. I don't make friends at the gym. Never. There was this one time when I was younger, some guy tried to make friends with me and I just... No. I was very... Stay back. I don't reasons, because the reasons I don't befriend people in the gym is because I'm there to just train, that's it. The moment you start talking to them and stuff, you end up adding more time to your time there. You know? It's kind of just the usual nod. Now there is, okay, it really depends, of course, right? But like, we don't, if I make friends with people at the gym, it doesn't go beyond just the spotting and sure, thanks, help, appreciate it, right? A dab up, you know, that's it. Anything beyond like hanging out of the gym, no thanks, you know. The only real friendships I've had at the gym is one moldy dude who's like massive and he helped me spot a W man. He helped me spot like 100 kgs W mans when I used to be bigger. There was also this other guy too, Isaac or something. It was also a guy regular. But that was when I was going during like, it wasn't even golden time back then. It was like a lot different. But back then it was still golden hour, to be honest. But yeah, making friends at the gyms. I don't know, man. I don't really usually make friends at the gym. Well, I don't, first of all. And also, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, it really just depends, right?
You nod at each other. After a while, you stop pretending you don't recognize them. You just say what's up like it's no big thing. I was going to my gym almost every day after work. Same time, same routine. It was the only part of my day that felt predictable. One of the regulars was a guy named Josh. He had that look like he wanted people to see him as a serious lifter. Always in some kind of fitted shirt, always a shaker bottle, always walking around with that big duffel bag. He was there so often, it felt like he lived there. At first, it was just small stuff, like a head nod when we passed the dumbbells. Pretty normal. You see the same faces long enough and it starts to feel rude not to acknowledge them. Josh seemed friendly enough. He would smile and do that quick chin-up thing like we were already friends even though we really weren't. One day, I was about to do bench, and he was already on the bench in the next rack over. He looked over and asked if I could spot him. That's when it actually became something.
Fair enough. Seems normal to me. No red flags, just hey, yo, swap me real quick. Appreciate it.
I said sure. I stood behind the bench while he unracked the bar. He was strong, I'll give him that. He did a few...
Fun fact, I can't help spot bench. Back in my day, I still can't spot bench. Reason is because I'm too short. And I'm not even kidding, I'm not even exaggerating. I cannot spot and bench. The difference is, for someone who's like 6 foot, spotting a bench, you're like deadlifting it, right? You're like deadlifting it, you know? But when it comes to me who's spotting, if I'm spotting, I'm doing like this. I'm like grabbing it from already here. I don't have enough strength to help you. Only a taller guy who's like 6 foot plus can easily, when the 6 foot plus guy spots you, he's like doing a deadlift, right? Because he can just lift it. He just lifts it up, right? But for me, I have to like, yeah, GG, I can't help you. That's why I never spot people in bench. I'm too short. I'm not even kidding. If you want to get someone, if you want someone to spot you, get like the tallest guy there, because he basically did lift it up for you. Don't get a short person, or then they're gonna. It's like you're trying to expect them to bicep curl. Ain't gonna work. You would rather get a person that can deadlift spot you rather than a guy that can bicep. Like, yeah, I can't spot you. You're dead if you try.
Reps, and he struggled on the last one, so I helped guide it back. He sat up, and then he started talking like he had been waiting for this moment. He asked me how long I'd been lifting, what my split was, some basic gym talk. I told him, and he told me his. He talked fast, and I could tell he was high energy. He asked where I was from, what I do for work, and if I lived close. I kept it basic. I didn't give him my address or anything, just the general area. He said he lived not far from me, and he laughed like that was proof we were meant to be friends.
GG.
Before I went back to my set, he asked if I had Instagram. He held out his phone pretty casually, so I just followed him back. It didn't seem like a big deal. People exchange socials all the time now. It's like the modern version of swapping numbers. For the next couple of weeks, it was the same routine, but slightly different. If Josh was there, he would come over and say what's up. He'd ask what I was training.
Yeah, I've had this experience before, but I'm very closed-in. It's hard to really talk to me. It's kind of just like, yo, yeah, okay, cool. I'm just lifting today, mate. All goods. You need spot? What do you need? Spot? Okay, spot, done. Alright, leave you to it. Done, you know? Simple. Simple. There was this person once that tried to talk to me, but I don't know. It's pretty easy to. I think I just give enough of a vibe to just be like, yeah, cool, thanks. Because I don't ask them questions. Like, I don't say, how's your day? Or like, what'd you do? So they kind of get the message, right? Also, I guess to a degree, all of the people that I met at the gym that tried to befriend me were all older than me. So it kind of makes sense. Right? Never really befriended anyone that was the same age as me in the gym. Every single person I somewhat not friended, but like just knew was always older than me. Like at least 10 years plus. Like the moldy dude was like probably 10 years older than me. Shout out to Mr. Pickering. G. He's like 30 years more older than me. He doesn't count because he's like a teacher. And Isaac, which is probably only like, I would say 5 years older than me, maybe. But then again, everyone just, yeah.
He'd comment on something I did like he was coaching me, even though I didn't ask. It wasn't offensive, just a little much. I figured he was just one of those guys who treated the gym like a community center.
You sometimes get people in the gym who, I swear, that's why I don't really train with people anyways, back in my day. I say back in my day because I've done so much research on Golden Hour that we already found out based on our Earth logs that Golden Hour is the best time. It avoids it, most people. Only thing that it's vulnerable to is stalkers, but you can always just leave. Also, yeah, when you train with another person, you literally spend like twice the time and you get the same results. Some people in the gym treat it as like just a place to talk, like a place to socialize. That is a thing I noticed when I used to go to the gym during like busy hours once. Like sometimes I would go in and out on a busy hour. Majority of the people there just to socialize. Like people after work, you see like groups of boys, groups of teenagers. Groups of teenagers. I used to be that group. Mainly it's there just to socialize. It's not really to like properly lift. Because if you're probably lifting, you would have a timer, and then the moment the timer goes off, you do your next set. But with the boys, it's just like, oh, whose turn is it? Oh, yep. And you just chat shit with your boys. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Whose turn is it? Oh, my turn. Okay. Boom. Done. 10-minute break because it takes that long for the whole entire man-dim rotation. And it's not like you can like spread out either. You have to all wait for that one. Yes. You know, we're actually pausing this a lot because I relate to this like easily. No joke.
gym memes sometimes. Dumb stuff, videos of guys failing lifts, or edits of bodybuilders with dramatic music.
Yeah, can't relate to that one because again, all of the people that I met were old, so they don't do that social media stuff.
I just react with a laughing emoji and keep it moving. I didn't want to be rude. He seemed like he just wanted a gym friend. Then he messaged me one day saying there was a local festival happening that weekend and we should go. I didn't even know about it. I looked it up, and it was one of those town festivals with food trucks, cheap drinks, random vendors, live music, and a crowd that's half families and half people just there to get buzzed in the middle of the day. I hesitated, but I said sure. It sounded like something to do.
That's your fault then. That's literally your fault then. That's your fault. So that means you have to admit that you wanted a friend in, right? Because if you didn't want a friend, you'd be like, I'm busy, sorry. Or you'd honestly just be straight up, be like, I don't know you that well. Sorry. I don't look forward to being that close. But you said sure, so now whatever happens in the story is kind of his fault because he's the one that wanted, like, you know what I mean? If you're saying, okay, hold on. It's like, if you're willing enough to go to a festival with a guy, then you obviously trust him enough. I guess the plot twist will happen. I don't know. Maybe he's gay.
I figured it would be a quick hangout. If it was awkward, I could leave early. When the day came, I met him there in the afternoon. The first thing I noticed was how different he seemed outside the gym. At the gym, he had that controlled energy. Outside, it was like he had no volume knob. He was loud from the moment I saw him. He came up grinning too hard, slapped me on the shoulder, and started talking like we were reuniting after years apart. Then he started doing these weird voices, like cartoon voices. High-pitched, nasally, and then suddenly deep and scratchy. He'd say normal sentences, but in a voice like he was doing an impression. It didn't fit the situation. It wasn't like we were telling jokes and he was doing characters. He just kept switching voices for no reason, like he couldn't help himself. At first, I laughed because it caught me off guard. It was so random.
Hello, how you doing? He must be... What do you say it? Cool and stoic in the gym. A bit goofy on the outside. It's kind of like... In the gym, you'll be stoic and like cold, right? But then like when you're like with the boys, you just check, like just be dumb, retarded. Same as when you're like with family members, you have a different voice with your family members. When you're in like private doors, different. I think it's about comfort level. It's about comfort level and how open your shield is. Because let's be honest, when you're in public, you're more shielded. When you're with just you in private, you might say some stupid stuff to yourself, like talk to yourself in a dumb voice, like, "Hey, what you doing? Talking to yourself?" "Yeah, just talking to myself as usual." You know what I mean? Well, why do you talk to yourself? I don't know. What do you want? What do you want? Like, you know? Same as when it comes to streaming as well. Of course, you could actually tell from my own videos, right? Especially when it comes to talking to other people online. You could actually see it from my own videos too. Example, if we do like a voice chat to like random people online in the game, we will make a retarded voice like, "Yo, what's good?" Or, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, very good," you know? But then when we're talking that usual, we'll have this voice. When we may be doing another video, we might have a different voice. When we do like a horror game, when we try to do a little roleplay, like as a character in the game, we'll have a different voice, you know? When we're hyped. It is what it is, right?
That it was kind of funny, but then it kept going. We got drinks and walked around, and it was like the alcohol flipped something on in him. His jokes got more inappropriate. Not in a clever way, more in a shock value way. He'd point at random people and make comments that you should not say out loud, especially not around families. He kept trying to make me laugh by saying stuff that would get him punched if the wrong person heard it. I found myself doing that tight smile thing, laughing a little bit, but also looking around to see if anyone heard. He didn't seem to care at all.
"Yo, that girl kind of cute." "What?" "Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that?"
He would look right at people while saying things, like he wanted them to react.
That's crazy.
A couple times I told him to chill, like calm down, and he would laugh and do another voice, like a creepy whisper, saying my name like it was part of the joke. Nolan, in this fake, spooky tone. He did it more than once. It was weird how much he liked saying my name. Still, the festival was busy and loud, and I could tell myself it was just him being socially awkward and trying too hard. Some people have no filter once they start drinking. I didn't want to judge him too harshly off one day.
Fair enough drinking.
We ended up staying a couple hours. I went home thinking he was strange, but probably harmless.
Follow you home.
After that, he kept messaging me more.
Oh, never mind.
He started sending DMs that were less like memes and more like constant check-ins, asking what I was doing, asking if I was going to the gym later, asking if I wanted to link up again. At first I answered, but then I slowed down. I'm not the type of person who wants to be texting all day with a guy I barely know. He asked me to go out to a bar.
You guys did go to a festival together already, so you kind of had... You're basically friends at this point, right? Because you already went to the festival with him. You basically are friends. So you can't really say that we're not friends, or... You can't really call him a stranger, kind of.
One weekend and said he invited 2 girls to meet us. That made it feel more normal. Like, okay, we're just going out, there'll be other people, it won't be just the 2 of us. So I agreed. We met at the bar at night. Josh showed up already buzzed, I could tell right away. He had that half-there look in his eyes and the extra confidence. We ordered drinks and about 10 minutes passed, then 20, and no one else showed up. I asked about the girls, and he said they bailed. He said it like it was nothing, like it happened all the time. Meanwhile, he hyped this up almost like it was a double date. I felt like he lied the entire time about the girls just to get me there. That thought landed in my stomach and stayed there. Then the voices started again, even worse this time. He wasn't just doing cartoon voices. He was doing these creepy, exaggerated sounds, like fake laughing, fake crying, then switching into a deep voice like a movie villain. He would incorporate these sounds and voices into the conversation we were having, but it was still so weird.
It honestly just sounds like an anime character. The hell? Sounds like an anime character, no? Sounds like Filthy Frank. I could do that same thing. Yeah, I can understand. No, not really.
He kept doing it right at the table while people around us were trying to have normal conversations. I saw a couple at the bar look over and smirk, not because it was funny, but because it was awkward.
Cringe.
Like they were watching someone make a fool of themselves. Josh seemed to notice and leaned into it. He got louder. He started telling jokes that didn't even make sense, then laughing at himself too hard.
He's drunk.
Every time I tried to bring the conversation back to normal, he'd interrupt with another voice, and then he started saying my name again. Nolan. Listen, Nolan. It was like he couldn't talk without anchoring me to him. I felt embarrassed sitting there, not because I cared what the strangers thought, although I did feel like he made me look like a weirdo by association, but because his energy was so off that it made me feel trapped.
Extroverted.
People were watching, and the bartender looked annoyed, like she thought he was overly drunk and considering kicking him out. Josh kept drinking. He ordered shots and tried to get me to do them. I said no, and he acted like I was betraying him. He made a joke about me being boring. Then he did a voice like a crying baby. I forced a laugh, but inside I wanted to get out of there so bad.
You just leave.
I looked at my phone and made the decision I was leaving. I told him I had to go help my brother with something.
Why'd you
It
lie?
was the first excuse that came to mind. Josh stared at me for a second like he didn't believe it.
Yeah.
His face changed and he looked genuinely annoyed, like I had just ruined his night.
Yeah.
He asked why I couldn't just stay. I repeated that I had to go. He said something under his breath, then did that fake laugh again.
I'll find you.
But it sounded angry this time.
I'll get you for that.
I stood up, said I'd see him at the gym, and left. He didn't even say bye. People looked at me as I left, and I knew it was because we were a spectacle in there because of him. On the drive home, I felt relief. It was like I had been holding my breath for an hour. I told myself that was it. I wasn't hanging out with him again. Gym acquaintances is one thing. This was something else. The next time I went to the gym, I saw him. I tried to avoid eye contact. I stayed on the other side of the gym, hoping he wouldn't notice. Of course he did. He came up behind me while I was re-racking dumbbells and said what's up like nothing happened. He was overly friendly again, like the bar night didn't exist. He asked why I left so early. I shrugged and said I had to help my brother.
Why
He asked
lying?
if my brother was good, and I said yeah. Then he started talking about going out again, like he was already setting up the next time. I kept my answers short. I told him I had a lot going on. He didn't take the hint. He stayed right there talking while I tried to move through my workout. He followed me from one station to another like he was glued to me.
I don't think it has happened to me, but that I could see how annoying that is. That's crazy, huh? It's like you give the hint. I think that doesn't happen to me because I think people take the hint quite fast because they're not that clingy. But I do understand that feeling. It's like, you're talking to someone, you're like, oh yeah, cool. You're in the middle of the workout and you move, you like, oh yeah, I'm done. You move to the next machine, they just follow you. It's like, what? Why are you following me, man? But then that's when you kind of have to take the kind of break, be like, yo, bro, can you not? If you kind of just have to stand your ground, right? Be like, yo, okay, look, we're not really. I don't want to be friends with you, right? Just you do you, I do me, right? Bit done. But if you like half lean into it and you like don't give exactly what you want, then they're gonna continue going.
Every time I tried to end the conversation, he'd start a new one. It felt like he had decided I was his person now and he wasn't letting go.
GG.
After that, I started changing my gym time. I'd go earlier or later just to avoid him.
Okay.
Sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't. And when I didn't see him, I felt better. But then I'd get messages, more than before. If I didn't open them, he'd send another. If I left him on scene, he'd send messages like, "You good?" I started not opening my Instagram DMs at all. I hated the feeling of seeing his name pop.
I mean, at that point, you just need to tell them, honestly. Instead of trying to do, like, yeah, you're gonna... It's kind of like, if... I guess in real life, if you're, like, a female and a guy's chasing you, you kind of just have to, like, stand your ground and say no, right? Same vibe here, right? It must be the same vibe. Like, if some person's chasing you, you kind of just have to... Instead of, like, avoiding or lying, you kind of just have to stand your ground and be like, yo, look, I'm not interested in you anymore, right? Done. We're not good. Just... You do you, I do me, alright? We're done. No more. Yeah, done,
Up. It was like a knot in my stomach every time. I thought that if I ignored him long enough, he'd get bored and move on. One night, I was in my room, lying in bed, trying to fall asleep.
He stalked you.
It was a hot summer night, and my window was cracked. My room is on the first floor, facing the backyard.
GG.
I heard something outside. It was a low and drawn-out voice, like someone trying to sound spooky.
Definitely stalked you. Easy. It's actually really easy to stalk someone, by the way. I'm just saying. Just a heads up. Pretty easy. Especially if you're friends with them. If they find your plat number, GG, right? It's kind of easy, right? It's like, oh, you have your mate. You walk out the gym. He walks to his car. You walk to your car. Or maybe you walk with him to his car. And be like, yo, was it your car? That's a nice car. And you talk about the car and then somewhat memorize the plate, which is pretty easy if you really care. Just be like, oh, that's, okay, cool. Just mentally note it down. Done. Can't be too hard to track you down, right? I mean, just because it's a number plate, you can't necessarily track someone. It depends, of course. It depends. But it's probably easier to track you down, maybe? I mean, technically in today's modern day, it should be really easy, no? Yeah. In today's modern day, it is super easy to track someone. All you have to do is just buy an AirTag and just hide it in their car or something. And then, like, find a spot in the car and, like, hide it. On the outside, of course, right? Somewhat follow them home and then maybe learn their pattern before quickly taking the tracker away, right? Because in today's Apple tracker, if they can link the person that bought it, So you probably try to remove the tracker as fast as possible. And I don't think they're gonna notice. Actually, no. Apple's got a feature where it's like if there's an unidentified tracker near your phone, it'll tell you. So it may not be that easy to track someone, but if you really want to try, then yeah, tracking someone would be pretty easy, no? How would you stalk someone? Obviously, getting their main location is like the first thing to do, and then after that, it's pretty simple. Apple Tracker's probably like your best bet, or just simply following them. Yeah. If you're really, really desperate, by the way, it is possible to seriously How much is those? I don't even know how much. If you're like, okay, look, if someone wanted to get you, they'll get you, right? But if you really, really wanted to stalk someone without getting caught, without using an Apple ID, it would be pretty easy. All you gotta do is, it's gonna cost some money, but it depends on how badly you want them, right? You just rent a car, so it's not your car. Sit in a car park and then just wait for them to leave and follow them. And since you're in a rented car, they ain't gonna know you, right? Now you just have to make sure if they're smart enough to not go to the address they live at or not. But again, you're in a rented car, right? You could always just zip away. Yeah. It's pretty easy to stalk someone. It just depends on how much you care, right? If you're really dedicated, stalking him is not that hard. It's not that hard. It just depends on how much you care, right? Same as if someone wanted to get you in real life. If someone wanted to get you, they get you, regardless. Someone wanted you, yeah. If someone wanted to get you, they get you. Anyways, I went off track there for a bit.
Spooky on purpose.
The reason I talked about the stalking thing is because how come this guy's at his house? He must have stalked him, right, from the gym.
Name. It wasn't loud, but it was right outside, close enough that it felt like it was under my window. Then after that, it was just the sound of the wind, making the abrupt stop even more unsettling. I sat up in bed, listening hard, but I heard nothing else. I got up and went to the window and looked through the blinds. Though I couldn't see anyone, I felt someone's presence out there. I can't explain it. I whispered through the window, asking if it was Josh. I didn't mean to say his name out loud, but it slipped out because that was who it sounded like. When there was no answer, I backed away from the window and grabbed my phone. My first thought was how would he even know where I lived?
Stalked you.
I hadn't told him my address nor posted it. I went to Instagram and messaged him. I asked if he was outside my house. I stared at the screen after I sent it, feeling stupid, but I needed to know. The messages showed seen a few minutes later.
GG.
That made it worse. He saw it and didn't answer right away. I watched those little seconds pass like they were hours. Then he replied with one word. No.
Yes.
That was it. Incredibly fishy why he wouldn't respond something more, at the very least questioning why I asked that. I didn't respond. I put my phone down and tried to forget it. The next day, he messaged me again asking why I was being cold and distant. I didn't answer. I didn't want a conversation. I didn't want to give him anything to latch onto.
Then you just say what you mean. To be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Sorry.
But that night, I heard it again. This time, it wasn't outside my window. It was in my backyard, farther back, like someone standing near the fence line. It was the same intentionally creepy voice in the same fake tone, like it was meant to scare me. It sounded like Josh doing one of his voices. He said my name again, slow and stretched out. Then it stopped abruptly, as if he noticed movement inside.
Also, just to say, I mean, I would say this as well, but it really depends on who you're friending in the gym, because most of the time, most gym people don't do this because they were too busy working on themselves, because usually people that go to the gym are problem solvers. So it's kind of like, it's hard to really imagine a buff dude stalking you, right? It's like, sure, just go to the gym and say, why are you doing this? You could always make another friend.
I got up and walked to the window fast and pulled the blinds aside and stared out. The backyard looked empty. I closed the blinds and locked the door. Even though it was hot, I shut it completely. I turned my fan up to full blast so I wouldn't hear anything else.
Why would you do that?
And I picked up my phone and messaged Josh again.
Why would you message
This time I didn't ask. I told him if he didn't leave and if he ever came back, I would contact the police and get a restraining order. I left it off with calling him a freak. I blocked him right after sending it. I set my phone down and told myself that was the end. I had drawn a line. He would get scared off. That's what normal people do when they get threatened with police.
If you're gonna do that with the police, you might as well just tell them what you want first. My nails scuffed.
But Josh wasn't normal, clearly. I lay there staring at the ceiling, and I couldn't sleep. Even with the fan on full blast, my ears were still searching for sounds outside. A part of me felt this awful curiosity. Like if I didn't check the window, I'd be blindsided. I rolled over and carefully lifted the blinds just a little. Through the small gaps, I saw a figure close to the window. A a shadow outline standing still. It was so close that it blocked some of the faint light from outside. I yelled loud right at the window, telling him to get out and never come back. The figure/shadow shifted away from the window and disappeared into the dark. I stood there now shaking, listening for the sound of the gate closing or something, but there was just silence now. After that, I didn't feel safe in my own room anymore. Every sound outside made me think he was back. I stopped going to that gym completely. I didn't want him seeing my routine. I signed up at a different gym across town, even though it was more expensive and further away. I stopped posting on Instagram for a while. I kept my blinds closed at night, and I started checking locks obsessively. 3 weeks passed and nothing happened, so I started to relax a little.
Buy a camera.
Then one morning, I walked out to my car and saw my rear tire was flat. I crouched down and saw the cut. It was a clean slice in the sidewall. He slashed my tire. I looked up and down the street like I expected him to be standing there watching me. I didn't confront Josh. He was blocked anyway. I knew confronting him would only feed whatever this was. If he did slash my tire, it meant he was watching me. It meant he wanted a reaction. I didn't want to give him one. I got the tire replaced, and that same day I bought cameras. I installed Ring cameras around the house, front and back.
Nice.
I put motion lights in the backyard. I didn't like spending the money, but I liked the idea of being blind even less. I kept a low profile after that. I stopped going out late, I didn't take the same route home every day, and I'd check the Ring app every time I get a motion notification. The worst part about all of this was knowing a guy I met in the most normal place, a guy I just tried to be friendly to, developed this disturbing obsession with me after hanging out twice. And once someone like that decides you're their friend or you hold any sort of relationship with them, good luck getting them out of your life. So my advice is to be careful who you let into your life.
I think my advice is just being honest. Be like, sorry dude, look, can we just talk it out? Just talk it out. It is what it is. Just don't hang up me anymore. Alright? We're done. We're done. It is what it is. Right? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was a pretty interesting story. We can't wait to do the next stories. That was pretty interesting, right? Good analysis. Good talk. Alright. See you guys next time, alright? Bye-bye.